Hi, I'm Debbie Moore. Welcome to my inspiration videos. The idea behind these is that you get a little bit of inspiration on different themes. On this particular one, it's all about the Shabby Chic angels, full of the vintage feel with that lovely wonderment of the angels. Now we're going to do a clutter card in this one and you're going to have lots of fun with it. Don't forget to print off the recipe cards that you'll find on the website at debbiemore.tv. If you have any questions or queries, you can email in or give us a ring. Are you ready? I certainly am. Happy crafting. Right, to start off with, when you do a clutter card, the one that I'm going to do is you actually need a square card. So this is just a square card. You can get them any sizes you want. I like obviously the larger ones. I love large cards. Now on the CD-ROM, there's lots and lots of gorgeous papers that work beautifully together. So to start off with, print off the ones you want, lay them out, and if you're happy, that's the ones you want to start off with. Now this one is one of my absolute favourites. Now here's a top tip about cutting down the correct size. Do you remember I always say I never measure? I'm really the most impatient crafter you'll get to meet. Now what I've done here is I've got my card, I've got my paper ready. I've laid it out leaving an edge all the way along, but I need to cut it off. So what I'd recommend you do is just make a little mark with a pencil. You can use your eye and make sure it's equal. Then I'm going to get my paper trimmer. Now these paper trimmers are the new ones by Fiskars, and these ones have a precision line, and they're great because that little mark, I'm just going to line it up to the top there, put this down. I can see the line in the middle, it's called a precision line, and I can cut exactly where I want, and that will give me the size and the measurement. So there is my size with my leftover paper. Remember, don't throw it away, because you know what, we crafters keep everything. Now with a clutter card, the idea behind it is you have lots and lots of papers to give different effects. So we've got these lovely gorgeous toppers. Don't be afraid to put things at an angle. Now with a clutter card, what I tend to do, I lay them all out, and then when I'm happy, I'm going to put everything together. Now, because you could argue the background of the paper is very busy, but I still want to use it to help it stand, make the topper stand out, you need to have a contrast in paper. So what I've done is I've actually got one of the lovely pink papers, surprise, surprise, you know how much I like pink, and I'm doing almost like a pocket effect. And to do that, you just get your thumbs and you start by going in and out all the way along to get that lovely pocket effect. Now at the moment it's got a white edge. Now I've already trimmed down the size that I want, and I actually want to put it along here just to kind of give an effect of a pocket, and that way when I layer my clutter elements on, these now stand out because I have the colours between the two. But I want to add some of the vintage feel to it. So yet again, I'm just going to move that to one side. And I'm just going to use the back of that paper for now, because I want to rub some distressing inks in. And you can get these from your local craft shop or our website. This is our vintage photo, and this is the most popular one people tend to use. And I'm using my Shabby Chic blending blocks, and these are great because they've got foam on that enables you to blend whatever ink you want without really getting them all over your hands. And I'm just rubbing it in, that touch of vintage brown, just to give those papers a more vintage feel. Now with the Shabby Chic collections, the way they're designed is you can use them exactly how they are, but they work beautifully by adding more distressing inks. So it's entirely up to you how you want to use it. Now can you see how I've done on that? If I get the other one, look at the difference. By just adding that touch of ink, you can see it almost looks like a different piece of paper. So I'm happy with that. So now all I'm going to do is get all my elements fixed. So to start off with, I'm actually going to use my glue on this occasion. Now this is my 3-in-1 glue. Now this is available from our website, and this is a quick drying glue, and I do mean quick. So whenever you use silicone glue, you would normally have to leave your work to one side, or the photo you'd have to dry. This literally, you slide it into place to where you want it, press it down, down and it's dried. That's how easy it is. So then I'm going to get my paper and I want to sit that off there. Now remember what I said, lay it out, be happy with where you want everything. I do have a ribbon strip that I want to lay along the side there. So be happy with everything before you stick it down. When you're happy, then get your glue or you can get your tape, whichever's easiest. This is now my new favourite because it's quick. Because we always want to make these gorgeous cards in minutes. And the glue enables you just to position it, press down and it's fixed. And what I'm going to do, this is another top tip. Remember, when it comes to ribbon strips, you can either just lay it on the side and cut from the back, or remember using a pencil. But when you use a ribbon strip, turn it over so you can see where you want to cut it down to get the right measurement. I never measure unless I really have to because it takes out all the fun. And then I'm just using a large pair of scissors you could use a paper trimmer, but for ease I'm just using these scissors and I'm just trimming it down to the right size I want, which is this one. Now a clutter card, when it comes to the colour palette, this is what's great about CD-ROMs. You stick to one colour hue. Now I'm using pinks. Now I've actually got about 10 different shades of pinks in this card. And then I've added some contrasting colours, and the contrasting colours I've used are the greens and the browns. Everything else will then work with itself. Now because obviously you've got these gorgeous angels, these are one of our lovely angel feathers that we've got with the diamantes that I picked, the white ones, and we're going to use that in today's card. Plus, before I fix these top two toppers, I'm going to show you how to make your own head pin, and these are gorgeous. These are just using glass beads with a head pin there, so I'm going to put that to one side. Now to make one of these, all you need to do is get a glass bead and a head pin. Now these are used mainly for jewellery making, but we're going to make a hat pin because it's all the range at the moment. And this is how easy it is. You slide it on, there you go. But obviously it's moving. To stop it moving, I'm using my 3-in-1 glue. Now all I'm doing is I'm going to put, because it's clear, this 3-in-1 glue dries totally clear, and it's great because you can also use it on vellum. Put it on there, slide that back into place. Takes a few seconds and there you go. That's how quick it is to use the 3-in-1 glue. You can use it on glass, on vellum and on paper. So I've actually done two. I've done that one and I've done another one earlier, and I'm ready to go. Now with this clutter card, you've got all the other embellishments from my design sheet that I've cut out. And when you do a clutter card, you need to make sure that you give dimension. You start by laying the first one flat, so I'm going to have it at an angle there. Then I'm going to use my glue and I'm going to have that one flat. Then the next one, so that's at an angle. Don't be afraid to experiment with your angles. Then this one, it says when one door closes, another door opens, which is lovely. And I'm going to have that one straight just down here. But then what I've got is I've just got one of these plaque embellishments. They're really beautiful, and I just want to put it on the edge there because we're going to have one of these roses, because you've got these roses that you can cut off. CD-ROMs are great because everything blends beautifully together, and literally I'm just laying out where I want to put everything. And last but not least, I have to have the feather, so the feather is going to go on that side there. I'm going to trim it down using a pair of scissors. I'm going to have that on there, and then I'm going to have a sentiment that says I believe in you, and that's just going to go on there to finish off. Now to fix all this together, you need foam pads to give dimension, and last but not least, I want to put my head pins, or I should say my hat pins, just in there on behind the rose. So you can see what I want to do, but the next thing I need to do is put it all together. So remember what I said about dimension. So we're going to start off with this one here. This one here needs to have foam pads behind it. Now you get loads of different sizes. I've just got these ones here. Now here's a top tip. You can actually put foam pads using a pricking tool. Now I'll be lost without this. This is the best tool a crafter needs, because for dimension you always need to use foam pads. Not only does it pick it up and enable you, oops, there, to position it, but it actually also takes the top off. That's how good this is. Now the pricking tools, you can get them different places. Your local stockist will have it, or you can go to the website. And what it enables you to do, it makes you, oops, to pick the tops off. And it even, if you do peel-offs, you can pick peel-offs off with it. Now when you wanted to pick that up, just use one of the foam pads, lift it up and turn it over. Now I'm going to have this one here. And then I'm going to have that lovely embellishment. Remember what I said? I just want that one there. I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue. Remember, it dries clear, so don't be too afraid of putting quite a bit on. So I'm going to put a bit on using this metal embellishment. I'm going to position that at an angle, like so. And then I've got my lovely rose. So I'm going to put the little one in the middle, and then I'm going to have these lovely faux hat pins that I've just made, using a head pin and a glass bead. Now you can actually use silicone glue, but because I want more dimension and I want it quick, I'm just using foam pads. So if I had the larger ones handy, I would use them, but I'm just using these small ones. And because the glue's coming through, it's sticking onto there, and then I'm going to put the foam pads on top. Oops, make sure you don't get, as I've done, stuck to your fingers. There's one done. Let's move it out of the way, it's sticking everywhere. And we'll do the other one on there first. Take the top off. There's always one that doesn't want to come off. Let's get a new one. Try one more time. Put that on. There we go. Take the top off. Put the head pin at an angle. So that's now ready to put my rose. Now what I'm going to do with my rose, I'm going to put one more foam pad on, take the top off, and that is just going to be there. So really what a clutter card, as you can see, it's built up of lots and lots of different elements. And of course I need to have my feather. Now I want to put it on that angle. I might change my mind. That's what us crafters always do. I'm going to put it on there. I'm going to have another rose at that angle. Now you know what I'm like for bling, so these feathers have some diamantes in it. So I'm going to lay it down. Now you can use the glue again on that. So I'm just going to position the glue. Whoops, fix that on there. Hold down for a few seconds. There we go. And then get some more foam pads and put my last topper on. And this is a great, as I keep saying about, I know I keep going on about CD-ROMs, but if you haven't had a go, have a go, because you get them everything at your fingertips. And last but not least, we'll put the sentiment on. I believe in you. And there's my clutter card finish. Look at that. A very simple card in minutes. Just have lots of fun. Have a go, follow the recipe card, and remember, if you get stuck, give us a ring. Happy crafting.